Men and times change, but principles never. Though the people support the government should not support the people. A government for the people must depend for its success on the intelligence, the morality, the justice, and the interest of the people themselves. In calm water every ship has a good captain. It is said that the quality of recent immigration is undesirable. The time is quite within recent memory when the same thing was said of immigrants who, with their descendants, are now numbered among our best citizens. Office holders are the agents of the people, not their masters. The laws should be rigidly enforced which prohibit the immigration of a servile class to compete with American labor, with no intention of acquiring citizenship, and bringing with them and retaining habits and customs repugnant to our civilization. The ship of democracy, which has weathered all storms, may sink through the mutiny of those aboard. Above all, tell the truth. A cause worth fighting for is worth fighting for to the end. I know there is a supreme being who rules the affairs of men and whose goodness and mercy have always followed the American people, and I know he will not turn from us now if we humbly and reverently seek his powerful aid. A truly American sentiment recognizes the dignity of labor and the fact that honor lies in honest toil. Sensible and responsible women do not want to vote. The relative positions to be assumed by man and woman in the working out of our civilization were assigned long ago by a higher intelligence than ours. All must admit that the reception of the teachings of Christ results in the purest patriotism, in the most scrupulous fidelity to public trust, and in the best type of citizenship. We will not forget that liberty has made her home here, nor shall her chosen altar be neglected. A stream of light shall pierce the darkness of ignorance and man's oppression until liberty enlightens the world. What is the use of being elected or re-elected unless you stand for something? Our citizens have the right to protection from the incompetency of public employees who hold their places solely as the reward of partisan service. Whatever you do, tell the truth. Once the coffers of the federal government are open to the public, there will be no shutting them again. What do you imagine the American people would think of me if I wasted my time going to the ball game? Every citizen owes to the country a vigilant watch and close scrutiny of its public servants and a fair and reasonable estimate of their fidelity. Unswerving loyalty to duty, constant devotion to truth, and a clear conscience will overcome every discouragement and surely lead the way to usefulness and high achievement. Under our scheme of government, the waste of public money is a crime against the citizen. Sensible and responsible women do not want to vote. It is the responsibility of the citizens to support their government. It is not the responsibility of the government to support its citizens. I feel obliged to withhold my approval of the plan to indulge in benevolent and charitable sentiment through the appropriation of public funds. I find no warrant for such an appropriation in the Constitution. He mocks the people who proposes that the government shall protect the rich and that they in turn will care for the laboring poor. I know that human prejudice, especially that growing out of race and religion, is cruelly inveterate and lasting. Honor lies in honest toil. In the scheme of our national government, the presidency is preeminently the people's office. My greatest trials come through those professing to be near and attached friends, who expect things. If it takes the entire Army and Navy to deliver a postal card in Chicago, that card will be delivered. It is better to be defeated standing for a high principle than to run by committing subterfuge. Patriotism is no substitute for a sound currency. Public officers are the servants and agents of the people, to execute the laws which the people have made. There is no calamity which a great nation can invite which equals that which follows a supine submission to wrong and injustice. Sometimes I wake at night in the White House and rub my eyes and wonder if it is not all a dream. Your every voter, as surely as your chief magistrate, exercises a public trust. Communism is a hateful thing, and a menace to peace and organized government. I'm only waiting for my wife to grow up. Well, my dear fellow, what did you expect, champagne? No man has ever yet been hanged for breaking the spirit of a law. I mistake the American people if they favor the odious doctrine that there is no such thing as international morality, that there is one law for a strong nation and another for a weak one. I have considered the pension list of the Republic a roll of honor. The friendliness and charity of our countrymen can always be relied upon to relieve their fellow citizens in misfortune. I have tried so hard to do the right. After an existence of nearly 20 years of almost innocuous desuetude, these laws are brought forth. Party honesty is party expediency. It is no credit to me to do right. I am never under any temptation to do wrong. The appointing power of the Pope is treated as a public trust, and not as a personal perquisite. Minds do not act together in public, they simply stick together, and when their private activities are resumed, they fly apart again. The trusts and combinations, the communism of pelf whose machinations have prevented us from reaching the success we deserved, should not be forgotten nor forgiven. The United States is not a nation to which peace is a necessity. Good ball players make good citizens. Some day I will be better remembered. It is a condition which confronts us, not a theory. I can find no warrant for such appropriation in the Constitution. I have a Congress on my hands.